Hey, yo! Oh, shit. Camera is not working. wait. If I press this button, bam. Hello. We are Jerome Powell. We carry the money printer. We carry the flame. Is that what you said? Fucking cool. Fucking cool. I'm not muted, am I? Testing. I'm not muted. Hello, governor. Good to see you. White boy shocks chat by turning blue. In perfect bluish. Hello. White shirt under flannel, you're evolving. Thanks, Hudat. That means a lot. Dude, everyone, we talked about it. Hudat's shredded now. I messaged him. We haven't talked in a bit, and I want to check on Hudat. So I messaged him. I'm like, bro, you're shredded now? And he said, yeah, it's because like his Amazon job sucks so bad. They're like working him to. So it was like kind of sad. It wasn't like a good thing, but he is shredded. I think what he's trying to say is he's trying to stop you from taking his amazing Amazon job because it's actually they're paying him to get shredded. I think he's trying to lie about it and keep it all for himself. That's sort of his secret. Oh, J. Cole. Speaking of hip hop, for just 1 second, white boy talk about hip hop for a second. J. Cole new album, The Fall Off, finally announced February 2nd, coming soon. He's been teasing this album for feels like 5 years. Very excited, extremely excited. Is that my wife?
Me, Malamo, and
you got a Chevron. What a long cat! He's not happy because you're holding him in such a long cat way.
Got the me
Malmo. What a chevroni!
Where's the focus? Your face is all blurry.
Well, yeah, because I'm out of frame, but he's grumpy.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it. He's not really a camera cat.
He's not a camera cat.
All right, babe. Fun. Chevy sighting. Yeah, I mean, you thought Chevy was gone. It's a Mao Zedong. What are you saying? Is your real name Jerome? My real name is Jerome. Jerome Brandon Ewing. yeah, he caught me. Yeah, 100%. I don't know you figured that out. I kept that a secret for so long. In a way, we're all Jerome after the unfortunate events of Trump's pressure on the central bank. I think we are all Jerome Powell in a way. Atrioc, I downloaded that James Garfield miniseries. I'm excited to watch it. Dude, it's fire. It is high-key fire. I think you will enjoy it. And the cool thing is after you watch it, you're going to be like, that can't be true. And you're going to look it up and you're going to find out that it was all true. And then your mind's going to be blown. How the hell are you guys? What's going on? Outside of, we're going to talk about all the crazy stuff in the world. Obviously, the world's very crazy. Oh, this camera's fucked up. What's going on in your lives? What's happening? You said J. Cole. Talking about the J. Cole stuff. He's finally dropping The Fall Off. It had a really cool message. It was like, I don't know. I'd repeat it. Atrioc, I tried to follow in your footsteps and start the new Year of Health off with oh, that's what I want to talk about. Dude, Year of Health is starting off with, I don't think it's released yet. It releases tomorrow, maybe. Little fair warning for Yard viewers. They have a 45-minute segment calling me fat. Oh, Artem's denied. Sorry, I'll get to Artem's to say it. 45 minutes calling me fat. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. I'm not fat. I'm working on myself, sure. You know what it reminds me of? I was talking about the Kai Cenat thing today. It's all the people making fun of Kai for what? Reading on stream and learning words is like the coolest thing a streamer's ever done. It's like the coolest thing a streamer's ever done. People are like, ha ha ha, you're fucking learning the words. What are we talking about? Dude, Kai Cenat, who could do Mafiathon 12 and make another $10 billion, announced that he's quitting streaming for at least a year to like travel the world with his dog and improve himself. And then he had like a second side channel where he's just uploading to like no views videos of him reading for 20 minutes at a time.
January 1st of 2026, 12:34 p.m. And I'm about to do 20 minutes of reading to improve the way that I speak. Let's go. 20 minutes. 3, 2, 1.
This is like such a W. I don't what.
Habit tracking is satisfying. This is the most crucial benefit of them all. Tracking can become its own form of reward. It is satisfying to cross an item off your to-do list, to complete an entry in your workout log, or to mark an X on your calendar. It feels...
I don't watch the whole thing, but he does it. Like the actual video is 20 minutes long and he does the full thing. He reads. I haven't say like massive respect for this. I think this is like one of, this is just really cool. And then I see like this, where is it? I see, dude, this fucking tweet, and it's like, Lamau, he kept having to look up what certain words meant. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with that? You psychopath, dude. He's just learning. Yeah, it's like such a good... God, dude, that's such an incredible hairline. I mean, thank you, but let's talk about Kai for a second. We don't need to, like, I appreciate the compliment, but like, can we focus on, it's not about glazing me. Let's talk about, let's give Kai some big ups too.
Oftentimes when I don't know what a word is pronounced, I get to look at how it's pronounced and what it even means.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. The condition of being spontaneous. Spontaneity.
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 You gotta look up spontaneous too if you want to keep going, but that is good. It's just a good thing to do. And with his fan base and the fucking state of literacy in this world, bro, I think it's awesome. I just wanted to like show some respect to that. I don't know a ton about Kai. I haven't seen a bunch of Kai content, but that's a cool journey. That's a cool choice to do. So since he's taking over, I'm deciding I'm going to take the money I was going to donate to Reading Partners and instead spend it on a Bugatti. That is my next. And I will be cutting back on my personal reading and doing some more scrolling because I feel like, first of all, he has a bigger audience. So I'm on the margins here. And so I can sort of cut back and we're still net gain for the world. Time to kick the Honda Fit to the curb and wake up in a new Bugatti. Doom scroll for 20 minutes. Every time Kai uploads a new video of him reading, I'm going to upload one of me doom scrolling on Big A. Laying in bed, fucking bright screen light on, doom scrolling. That just to balance shit out, dude. That's art. Yo, Atrioc, I just want to say I love you and your content. I enjoy watching your stuff. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. You love me and my content. You love my content. Hey, maybe you appreciate that I'm delivering it to you. I don't know that we're yet in love. You gotta imagine the journey to love is a little bit tougher than make video you laughed at or make a video where you're like, Hitman's cool. Robo Films, thank you for the 51 months. Chogan 69, thank you for the 50 months. What else is happening in your lives? Like, I want to hear some fucking By the way, I'm keeping up the year of health. I was just at the office, mogul office today, working out. Did a long ass workout. Everyone called me fat during it. Everyone called me fat during it, including Ludwig and fucking Nick. Nick stuffing his face with gummy bears, calling me fat. Headphones on. So anyway, it's if anything, it's motivating me to keep the year of health going. I'm probably getting evicted because my roommate can't pay me. Lol, Lamau even. Okay, well that's can't you just get another roommate? Like, why doesn't the roommate get evicted and you get someone else? Wouldn't that be how it would work? New league season sucks, but I can't quit. I heard it was good. Dude, what you want is a league season that sucks. The scariest thing is when Riot gets their act together. That's the scariest possible thing. When Riot makes a good season, that's when people really lose their fucking mind. Like, I had to uninstall the League of Legends client because the new TFT season was like their best ever. It was so fun. I was like, oh, this is bad. I had to get rid of it. The new TFT set was too good. So I uninstalled it. And for like the first week after I uninstalled it, I was opening my computer and my mouse was gravitating to where the icon used to be. Like every time I was opening the computer and I was bored, and like I'm reading an article or something, I would go over to the thing and try to open it, and it wasn't there. I mean, I was cooked. It was so fun. It was like a phantom limb. Yeah, it was like a phantom limb. Yeah, Atrioc, I saved up enough for a deposit to buy some land here in Australia and building in May. So you have $400 million? You're buying a land and a building in Australia? Donate some subs. How wealthy are you? Jesus Christ, I didn't know fucking Bill Gates, the Australian Bill Gates, Kangaroo Gates, is in my chat. Oh, my monitor is in frame, I think. What is that? Whatever. Oil baron. It's all minerals in Australia, right? Minerals and real estate. That's where all the money is. That's where they have the fucking big time. Is there an Australian? That's not disrespectful, but is there an Australian tech company? Is there like a tech company that outside of Australia that's headquartered in Australia? Biggest Australian companies by market cap. Let's just check. Let's check. Okay. We got bank. West Farmers. What do they do? What does West Farmers do? Supermarket? Okay. Is this part of that supermarket duopoly? CSL, Macquarie, Fortescue, Goodman Group, Atlassian. Okay. This would be their biggest tech. Maybe Telstra? What do they do? Oh my God, it's crashing. Aristocrat? What is this? Although we're down to the 20 Bs now. Woolies. It's these two, right? It's Woolworth and West Farmers. Aren't these like the big two that just like divvied up the whole Australian grocery market? And Coles? But is Coles owned by one of these, or is it like, what is West Farmers is chemicals? Oh, okay. I see. Brambles. Evolution Mining. Just a lot of mining and banks, dude. And the banks are real estate. So yeah, it is basically real estate and minerals. I didn't know Qantas Airways. Although we're now down like Elon Musk couch cushion size companies. There's probably a gold company that I have some dollars in Australia. Got a lot of dogs and a lot of fires when it comes to gold miners. Afterpays from Australia. Oh, good. Thanks for exporting that to the world. Good job. Thank you, Australia. We needed Afterpay. We didn't just have the Swedes sending us Klarna. We also needed you guys to send us Afterpay. Appreciate that. God forbid. When does Team Cherry pop up? They won the Steam Game of the Year. Who knows where they're going to go? Where the sky's the limit. Atrioc, is it parasocial of me to want your opinion on an economic theory I've been cooking up for a few months? You've been cooking up an economic theory? It's not parasocial, but I'm a little worried that like that's a big task. What you're going Keynes on us? Marx? You got another one? You got another big one to add to the pantheon? It's called Communism 2. Let Tim cook. You gotta call it Communism 3, because Communism 2 is taken. Mamdani just passed it in New York. Okay, he just rolled it out. He said it was day one. I don't know about Australia, but Warhammer is a top 100 company, I think. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Warhammer in the UK is top 100. Which is crazy. Day one. It's all the Brits have left. Nah, they got financial services. If you want to avoid global taxes, the UK has banks that are really good at it. They'll reroute it through another fucking UK island nation, and they'll save you some global taxes. So, aren't Dubai and Singapore better? Damn, this guy fucking banks. It's true, they are cutting in on the UK's turf. A lot of rich people, especially that didn't come up in the West, are going to Dubai and Singapore to fucking get out of the network. But Dubai's kind of woke. Can we say it? Like the good old fashioned UK, you know they're not going to get too woke there. I'm old fashioned. I prefer Florence. Oh, you're like 1700s old fashioned. You're like the Medici era. It's that fancy chocolate. Yeah, true. I hit my 1-year anniversary at Microsoft and got my stocks, but I despise my team, and now I need to desperately find a new job. Well, I'm sorry. I can't feel that sorry for you. Like, you are in a good position. I'm sorry. Like, I do agree that, it sucks working on a team that's not great, but like right now, you're not reading the room well. You're at Microsoft. That is a top tier job. You're getting stocks in addition to your payment. My lobster too buttery. Wait, is the camera lagging for anyone? Sorry, it looks a little laggy to me. But it does feel like, yeah, your lobster a little too buttery. And this is like a job. I mean, I've been putting together this presentation a little bit. Just like I've been tossing notes in the slides. Because I have been working, not that much, just to be fucking real. Been trying to do everything else, which I'm making progress on. But the amount of people, dude, I got all these different, I'm putting this note about the job market, and it's like, everybody's complaining. Everybody, anybody. And people I know, people that, I mentioned this guy too many times, but this guy got laid off at Meta, and he's like, I cannot find anything similar to what I had. And there was 1,500 more Meta layoffs today, which is crazy. Did you go to the dentist? I haven't done dentist yet. No. I got 2 blood tests. And let's see what it says. Here. I got the results. Where's this thing? Health. Function, health. Let's see here. Let's see what long live Brandon. What is Stupid sign-in thing. My God. Why has everything got to be a fucking... I don't know. I'll try to... I guess I'm just denigrating marketing, which is not good. Okay. My password is I love chat. They are great. 6969420. Logged in. Let's see. Okay. 113 biomarkers tested. 85 in range, 14 out of range. My liver's total bilirubin is 1.4 milliliters out of range. What does that mean? You guys are going to just say dead. You're dead. Oof. People typing oof like you're a fucking doctor. Oh, oof. The bilirubin. Oh, bro. Oh, fuck. Oh, Seth, yikes, dude. You hate to hear about the bilirubin. Well, I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it because it's giving me like, let's see, total bilirubin. Google. I'll just go to fucking. What does it mean if my total bilirubin is 1.4 mg/dl above range? All right, we're going to find out. We're going to find out what this means. It's a yellow pigment made when red blood cells break down as part of the body's recycling process. It may signal, okay, if I have high bilirubin, which I guess I do, it may signal a blockage in bile ducts. If it's extremely elevated, you can get jaundice. What the fuck? Mine's not, it's not extremely elevated, by the way. It's barely above. Look, I mean, it's barely above. I don't have jaundice. But what is that? So what should I do? What is the takeaway? Liver inflammation. Eat glizzies? I want to understand your worldview. Your worldview is that you're a guy that says, for everything that I do in my life, I have been eating glizzies. For all of what I've been glizzy eating. And then you're saying I have a disease that is caused by me not eating enough glizzies. How does your worldview make sense? In your mind, I'm always eating glizzies. And yet somehow I have bilirubin elevation from not eating enough. What is the best lifestyle change I can make to lower this total bilirubin? Why is it called bilirubin? So stupid. I'm not trying to get jaundice, bro. Foods to eat. Foods to eat. Less fatty food. You sound like the yard now. Disclaimer, I am an AI, not a doctor. Hey, at least they're saying it. I need to hydrate more during workouts. I do hydrate, okay? I drink Prime energy drink. Done. Okay? So I don't need to fucking hydrate. Ensure you're hydrated before you start a workout, not just during. Okay? And then avoid prolonged fasting. I haven't really been, I haven't fasting. I fasted for the blood test because they told me to. Wait, is this only because I fasted for the blood test? What if it's always up? That's stupid. Okay. Maybe it's Gilbert syndrome. Is that where you talk like a Iago from Aladdin? Gilbert syndrome. What the fuck is that? It's a genetic liver condition where liver doesn't properly process bilirubin, a yellow pigment. Maybe. I mean, who fucking knows? If I get jaundice, though, I'm blaming you guys. I'm blaming chat. It's not lupus. All right, let's do what else, because that's not the only thing I have a problem here, okay? My iron percent saturation is above range. I have too much iron. I got that iron in me, dude. I should run Singapore. I have too much iron in me. That's exactly what it says. This could eventually lead to joint pain, fatigue, or potential organ damage. So what do I do? I eat I eat a little bit of metal every morning. I'm not going to stop that. It tastes fucking delicious. Why would I? I'm not going to stop that. Magneto. You think the solution is to find the X-Men Magneto and have him pull the iron out of my blood? Is that a doctor's recommendation or just your unprofessional opinion? Okay, finally, my omega-3 is slightly below range. I'll just solve that with some fish oil. Yeah, I have a little bit too low on omega-3. So I have to, do some fish oil. Okay, what does this mean? My ketones in my urine are out of range? Dude, okay, this is kind of oof. This is kind of funny. So it was a blood test / urine sample. Okay. They give me the little cup and I go into the bathroom and I pee or whatever. And I didn't know, how much they want for the sample. So I come back and the cup's fucking full. It's like a full cup, bro. And then but it's not all the way to the top. It's mostly full. And then I come back to the guy and I'm putting it in his little thing. I'm like, is this enough? And he laughed. He's like, dude, he's like, that's well more than enough. Yeah, I gave him. Listen, I'm a real pisser. First of all, don't ever count me out in a pissing contest. I'm a real pisser. But now he's telling me that my piss doesn't have enough ketones in it. What the fuck does that mean? Oh God. It's this one's barely under though. All right. Well, I mean, I guess the takeaway that chat's telling me is that I'm going to die for sure. That I'm pretty much guaranteed cooked. This what this blood test is saying, even though it says 85 out of 99 things are in range, I'm still screwed. My sodium's good, my potassium's good, my chloride and carbon dioxide and calcium and all that's good, but these ketones will kill me. What is LDL? My LDL particle number is slightly above range. Well, dude, I don't fucking know. I need Dr. House on this. Oh God. Cholesterol? You guys can't say oof on everyone. They can't all be bad. Do you know what I'm saying? They can't, of course, some of them are gonna be fine. Nice knowing you, gamer. Okay, but what if it says my total cholesterol is in range. So how could that be? My LDL cholesterol is in range, but my LDL medium is above range. What the fuck does that mean? Dude, wait, I can chat with it? It has a chat? Yo, so what should I be doing based on these results? Dude, this is crazy. I feel like this company is just high key doing whatever they can to make money. You put an AI chatbot in your blood testing thing, it's like this is a fucking Grok. It's sending. I just clicked this button, probably just sent all my health data to Grok. Okay. I want you guys to listen to this. I asked him to give me a rundown. Listen to this sentence. Okay. Most of your biomarkers are in range. 85 are in the optimal or lab reference range. Your biological age is excellent. Your biological age is about 24.8 years. I'm sorry? Zoomers! Can we get these fucking millennials out of here? I feel the Harry Potter leaving my body. Dude. You know who I fucking love? Yeet. Oh, no, wait. Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? 6'7". I love Netspend, dude. I love fucking. I think J. Cole's for fucking unks, dude. I've been saying that. I like all this shit, man. I think 6'7" is so fucking funny. Honestly, and I think it's kind of cringe that Kai is doing this reading thing now, honestly. What the fuck is that? It's fucking lame. Do fucking Mafiathon 6 or fucking get out of my sight is what I've been saying. Atrioc, I've got the MCAT tomorrow. Any tips? Just analyze my blood samples with this clip from stream and tell them that I'm cooked and gonna die from Glancer, and they'll say, "Wow, you perfectly analyzed it." You're just cribbing chat's nose. My nutrients are mostly in check. My metabolic and kidney health are solid. Okay. So what should I do? Cardiovascular focus. Further improve heart health. Consider a Mediterranean style diet. What are they eating in the Mediterranean? Pizza? Burgers? Mostly pussy. I have to ban you. I'm at least timing you out for this stream. That's so crass, dude. That's so crass. Why? That's so crass, bro. Come on. Where's the class? Dude? Limit processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy oils. I had to fucking pay a blood test to tell me that. Okay. Continue regular physical activity. Okay, beast. Focus on anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, green tea, etc. I love berries. I love green tea. And I love leafy greens, to be honest. Easy. All right, that's basically what it says. I mean, that's, to be honest, that is not worth the 2 blood tests. I had to drive to that clinic twice, and I had to fast for it. But I guess I'll be eating some berries. purchase more $20 strawberries. Bro, the heart of LA, $20 is a strawberry. They'll give me one strawberry and they'll like put like a Erewhon. That's one. $20 cannot. What does an Erewhon strawberry smoothie cost? It's got to be more than 20. What does an Erewhon smoothie cost? Not smoothie cost. It's $20 to $21. A strawberry one is $22. That's fucking crazy. The strawberry probiotic smoothie at Erewhon is $22. That is a fucking, what a country. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's before I Uber Eats it. Got to add a little on top, but no tip, thankfully. No tip, thankfully. Because I'm focusing on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like it's like self-care. So no tax on tips, then I don't have to tip. Yeah, how does that work? Plus, yeah, I'm buying this on Klarna, so there's going to be some. I don't have to pay for it for 4 weeks. You can't complain about LA prices when you live in Santa Clara. First of all, I can complain about whatever I want, whenever I want. Try to stop me. I'll complain about anything. I'll complain about a chat and then go live every day. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll complain for whatever I fucking want. Okay? But Santa Clara, I think in Santa Clara, I just never, ever. Oh, that's why. In Santa Clara, I had the NVIDIA cafeteria where I ate all my meals and it was essentially free. And so that's why I didn't care about prices. I literally would show up. I would eat breakfast at NVIDIA. I would eat lunch at NVIDIA. And then for dinner, me and about, I'm just going to say it, this is the true facts, me and about like 28 Indian guys would stay late at the office for the late dinner service. And then we would get like double bags. We would bag it all up and then we would leave. We would take it home. That's what we would do. I'm just telling you, that is how it worked. Okay? And also, during that time, this is very important, in the heart of Silicon Valley, Bay Area, there was a lot of startups trying to get a piece of the delivery industry. And there was one called Sprig. There was one called Sprig that delivered burritos to your door for $5. And they were fresh and hot. It was the best fucking thing ever. And I used it so often that they sent me an email saying I was the Sprig hero. And then they went out of business. Yeah. It didn't really make a lot of sense financially. It was kind of a movie pass-esque thing. I drained all their VC money. They're like, the math doesn't add up. How does he eat so many burritos? Are you new to our gym stream? Absolutely. I'm just trying to get the audio set up. I'm actually going to set up a desk at that office with a computer, and maybe if no one's around, I'll stream there. But obviously, they do sometimes do work there. Not Aiden. Listen, Aiden always tells me how busy he is and how stressed he is and how he's got so much going on. And then I show up and he's playing Counter-Strike 100 out of 100 times. I'm not exaggerating. And I go there every day now to work out. 100 out of 100, he is playing Counter-Strike. And then he'll be like, oh, God, it's just... By the way, I don't know if any of you are Lemonade Stand viewers. Aiden was so fucking stressed about... Because, listen, I want to give it from his POV. I love Aiden. I actually think Aiden's one of the best people I've ever met. He's just a good guy. He, in the last week's episode, he did so much work to do a full day of translated interviews with 3 Venezuelans that he had to track down from his old Mario Kart connections, get a translator, sit there, record it. And then he puts his heart out in the interview or in the show, which I think is one of his best segments. It was really cool and very powerful and helpful to the conversation. But then all the comments are about TurboTax. And I swear to God, I think I've never seen him closer to killing himself. Like, I'm kind of joking, but he was been like pulling his hair out. He was like stressed and angry and mad and he was like so, because it's like, oh, listen, I agree, by the way, we should get rid of that ad, and we did. But people take it too far, as the internet always does. And some of the comments are like, wow, I didn't know Aiden was a spineless sellout who has no principles. He's probably going to take DraftKings next week. And it's like, Aiden is like the only one of us 3 like checking the thing and like, and like, but for me, because I've been a content creator for a while, it's like, you just know that a lot of people are just angry, bro. And then they don't even mean it half the time. They got a vent, and then there's a thing that gives them the permission to do it, and they go out. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're just, people are going along until someone is a target, and then they go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't bother me as much, but Aiden takes it very seriously because he doesn't upload stuff outside of podcasts. And he reads every comment and he reads everything in the Discord. And so he was deeply, deeply stressed. And then for this week's episode, first time he's ever done this, he's like, bro, can you read the comments first and give me a summary? I don't want to read them. Thankfully, they were very nice this week. That was very, but like, I want you guys to know his mental health. Like, it's crazy because he is just a good guy trying to learn about, I hope that you can understand. It's good that he cares that much. It's hard to care that much on the internet. The internet doesn't make it easy. I thought his segment was great. And it also just sucks because, not even the pushback, but it's like he was hoping to hear some feedback on his good segment, and he just the comments didn't even watch it. It felt like. Carrying is cool, but has Aiden ever drained a 3 from the logo? No, he never has. But he is a good basketball player, which is also underrated. Aiden's a beast on the court. All the people should come here and hate you instead? Yeah, probably. I could take it. Aiden Slander's probably during that 3. Aiden just doesn't shoot 3s that much. He's more of he's a bigger guy. He drives to the paint. Big A doing league content with Lud and Stans would be legendary. The trio we didn't know we needed. Not only have we done this multiple times, but it's bad. It's like, we don't need that. Nobody needs that. And I certainly don't want to reinstall League of Legends. Like what, I don't think you understand how, happy I am this month. Like, I'm not happy with the state of the world. And there's many things that are like frustrating me, but like in terms of my day-to-day life, I'm actually in a good spot. I'm in a good spot. Like I feel quite good about the changes I'm making in my life. And I do not want to reinstall League of Legends. Mark my words, you're going to watch Worlds 26 and reinstall. High key. I think the Riot Cabal is going to put the kibosh on Faker this year. I'm saying it. I'm calling it out early. I think the word has come down from on high that Faker can't have 4. And I think T1's cooked. I think the script has changed. They said 3-peat. I think the script has changed. They're not gonna let Big Fake win 4th. And so what do I care? You know, I'm not gonna watch. I don't care about his Faker. They're gonna stab him in the abdomen before the event like Gladiator. But for real, they might do that. And then also, even if Riot doesn't do that, I'm just like I like want this is how parasocial I am. I want Faker to be happy, and I think if he wins 4, people will get angry at him. I want Faker to lose so people will like him more. Because if he loses, they're gonna be like, "Wow, he's he's the greatest." But if he wins 4, they're gonna be like, "What? It's so broken. Like the system's rigged. Like it's like they're not gonna." He already has. Mm. Mm. Can you describe Faker in terms someone who has no idea how League works will understand? Faker's just very, very good. It's not even that hard to understand. He's just a very, very consistent, good League of Legends player. You might think of him like, if you watch football, he's like Tom Brady or something, in that it's a team sport. He's been good for a very long time. You could split his career in 2 and both would be Hall of Fame great careers. That's the idea, I guess. He also kisses his son on the mouth. Yeah, same as Brady in that respect. Different from other sports, Faker is undeniably the GOAT. There is no like LeBron James versus Michael Jordan or whatever. Faker is so far ahead. He's lapping. I don't even, there's not even consensus number 2. What is Lud saying? God, guys, we got to talk about something. There's a lot of seismic indicators going on in LA. Please stop running. He's been calling me fat nonstop. And it is because he is 1 pound lighter than me. He is 1 pound lighter than me. After being I've never, ever, ever, not once called out his weight when he was much heavier than me for many years. And now he is 1 pound lighter than me. He looks frail. He looks sickly. I don't want to use the word like sickly twink, but that's the vibe he's giving. The new blonde hair. He looks very, very twink-like. It's twinkly. Okay? And so it's like crazy for him to be throwing this shade in my, I would say, like, built direction, honestly. I feel like and he's not even showing up to basketball. And also, let's put it out there. I was at the Mogul Moves warehouse. A lot of empty boxes that say Ozempic on them. Like a lot. I don't know. Maybe maybe it could have just been leftover cardboard boxes. I don't know. But like a lot of them just like sitting around. So it's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I getting called for trying to do it the honest way? I'm trying to work out. As a treat. We're reselling it for profit. Times are tough. You lose $3 million, you gotta start making side hustles, bro. You gotta start finding ways to make the math add up. Shake Drizzle's salary, not cheap. I'll take 3 million worth. True. I'm eating a Crunchwrap Supreme right now. This is what Aiden's been doing to me. Because Aiden knows I'm on the year. Everyone's crabs in a bucket, dude. Guy tries to make his life 1% better, and everyone around him tries to fucking make fun of him, turn down. Aiden has been eating, because I'm a candy fiend. I love candy. I'm very addicted to candy for my whole life. I love candy. And there's free snacks at the Mogul office. Aiden has been grabbing gummies and eating them in front of me. They're so tasty. He's eating like sour candies and shit. It's like, what? Why are you doing this? Does anyone want to help, or they all want to hurt? Iran win. So here's the thing. I have this Iran presentation. I have these people I interviewed. I have a lot I want to say on it. However, this happened, what, like 3 hours ago? What is this? 40 minutes ago? An account on Polymarket was created 40 minutes ago, an hour ago, that already made a $160,000 bet on a U.S. strike in Iran within 24 hours. The only market it's betting on. And then in the hours since, he's still buying. Just constantly punting money on this exact bet. Brand new account, no other bets. And you have Trump saying, like, basically fucking stand back and stand by. So it's like I think I should wait. I kind of want to see what the U.S. does. Like, I think people know the gist of the high level, and so I kind of want to have a response, because the idea is you want to try and make some predictions or some ideas of where it can go from here, and so much depends on what the U.S. does. Your video will impact what Trump does. That's worse. That's worse. This is when our Dom, one of the Marketing Monday guys, just sent me this article. Speaking of Klarna, Klarna CEO backs Trump's 10% credit card cap. I wonder fucking why. Because as they choke off access to credit for lower income people, they'll just move over to Klarna. Like, of course. Fucking wow. Thanks for standing up for the fucking good of the... I'm sure you're doing it for the good of people. What a saint. What a saint. Saint Klarna. We're talking about Trump inviting Chinese car brands. But there's actually no point in talking about any of the, like, like, how do I say this? The economic policy small things there's no point in talking about any of them, because I tried talking about them. What he does is he just lobs it up in the air, says it, and then nothing happens. Like, I did a whole video when he was talking about how we were gonna, like, have drug prices matched to the lowest country's drug price, so that no matter what, if the price is lower in fucking Zimbabwe, we're gonna have that price, whatever the price is. I did a whole video on it. I was like, well, there's some merit to this idea in theory, and then nothing happened. Like, there's no follow through. The only thing he follows through on are tariffs and then insane geopolitical things. There's no. We talked about the 50-year mortgage. Even a bad idea like that. 50-year mortgage is a bad idea. But even that, he just lobbed it up. What was did he write anything down? Was there a... Sorry, what the fuck is Ludwig saying? Sorry, I hate to interrupt. I just dropped a joke and you won't shut up about global politics. Is there a mod I can ping? I was trying to work out, and Ludwig's like telling me he's going to take back my Reddit for the glizzy people. That's what he's telling me. He's like, Ludwig spends more time on Reddit than I do. This is a fact. This is a fact. Atrioc stealing candy from the office. Call that a turbo tax. Wow, I didn't think I had to ban Ludwig today, but he's banned. He's banned. That's crazy. And we'll never have to see his fucking skinny twink ass again. We'll get that out of here. Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Talk about tax. Instead of you want to talk about Greenland? Yeah, I guess. I swear I mentioned it on Lemonade. Sam Norman doesn't watch this. I think Greenland is. This is going to sound hyperbolic, but bear with me. I think what Donald Trump is doing and saying around Greenland is the single dumbest thing of all of the actions he has taken. I think it is the dumbest one. I think if we were to legitimately use military force on Greenland, I think it is actually the dumbest action in terms of like, what is the long-term impact on America? That's why I actually think this. And it's crazy that it's so close to possibly happening. And that even today they're saying they have the right to do it. They will do it. Like it is baffling to me. I think it is. I mean, there's things I dislike morally, of course, but like, I think the tariffs are incredibly stupid. I think there's a lot of things that are really stupid, but I actually think this is the dumbest one. Like, as in, it seems to just completely ignore what the immediate effects would be, then the second order effects, then the third order effects. And it's all to get essentially nothing. Because, I don't know if you're aware, but every rationale that he's given, he's like, we need it for national security purposes. Or there's minerals there that we need, rare earth minerals. All of these things, Denmark has said. By the way, I'm kind of a pro-Greenland independence guy. A lot of Denmark people are like, the nerve of this. We should be the father state of Greenland forever and ever and ever. It's like, okay. It's like, and then but they need us. They have to have, like, they love, it's like, I'm sure they would be economically hurt by Denmark not providing funding, but it's also like you've set the system up. So whatever, I get it. But I understand. But here's the thing. Denmark owns it right now. And Denmark has said they will allow military bases to be in Greenland. There already are some U.S. military bases in Greenland. They can expand them. And they said, of course, you can set up companies and mine shit. So it like actually is only because Trump wants it on the map. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating or I'm not saying it right. But we pulled up the actual interview he did where he says this exact thing. Like, look, this is 3 days ago. This is the 23,000 word interview. It's actually really, if you really want to get, I mean, what he's thinking on everything, they did a non-audio. This is like I think there's some audio, but it's a transcribed written interview with Donald Trump, New York Times. They published the whole thing, a 2-hour interview. And it's just like pages and pages of him talking about every major issue. And when you get to the Greenland part, let me see if I can find it. Greenland. Okay. Let's get to the Greenland. Maybe it's like psychological. Okay. Okay, here it is. Okay. So the agreement we have with Denmark says that United States can reopen the bases there anytime we want. We can send as many troops we want because we're in a military alliance with Denmark. Like, if this was back in like 4 years ago, they wouldn't even think twice about it. We can put as many troops there as we want. That's right. You haven't done it because I want to do it properly. And properly means to own it. Really, to me, it's about ownership. Ownership is very important. Why is ownership important here? Because that's what I feel is psychologically needed for success. I think ownership gives you a thing you can't do, whether you're talking about a lease or a treaty. Ownership gives you things and elements you can't get from signing a document that you can't have a base. Psychologically important to you or to the United States? Important for me. Now, maybe another president would feel differently, but so far I've been right about everything. That is crazy! That is fucking crazy! Dude, it's like... I can't. I was trying to make this point on LS, maybe Patreon, but I don't think I fully got it out. So I'm gonna try and do it here. The US has 3, count them 3, truly major superpowers that make it a formidable country on the global stage, possibly a global hegemon. Number one, geography. The U.S. has the best geography of any country. Geography. Okay? Best. Pound for pound, best geography. Incredible river system, incredible 2 natural oceans that defend it. No countries nearby or military threats. Yada, yada, yada. Tons of resources. Blah, 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 blah. Many, many advantages, geography. It's the incredible blessing of every time they kept going west, there was more land, and it turned out to be incredible. We got a couple incredible deals for buying Louisiana Purchase and Alaska. It all worked out well for geography, okay? Number 2, systems of alliances. Its gigantic web of financial and political and geopolitical alliances that is created in the wake of World War II. We basically set up every system on Earth, put ourselves in a key controlling position in it, and have these deep ties, okay? Things like NATO are an incredible superpower. The United States has great influence in NATO and allows them to have a lot of control and influence and soft power over other countries in NATO, okay? This is like really, really important. The UN, these things were built, set up with the US as the lead post-World War II. So this is number 2. This is completely just wiped out by so many of Trump's actions, but especially this Greenland action. It is such a stupid and short-sighted play. And then as a nice side bonus, number 3 is the US dollar. This is the 3rd superpower. This is an incredible asset, the world global reserve currency. And what he's doing with Jerome Powell and what he's doing with tariffs and what he's doing with alliances and trade is also undermining this. So we're left with just the nice fucking oceans and rivers. Okay? Like, there's a lot of things. Of course, I can talk about fucking ICE and a million other things that I am angry at Trump about. But like on a fundamental, like long term, like these are problems that could persist through my life and my kids' life. And these things that could make the country I'm in poorer and weaker. These are the problems. And man, it's so short-sighted and so stupid. I saw a guy saying, I was listening to this geopolitics podcast, and it was a guy who was like not anti-Trump, but he was being honest about this term. He's like he talked about Trump's first term as mostly like nothing major happened, like whatever. Like he's talking about Trump's second term. He's like, this second term is the single greatest diminishing of global power, like self-diminishing of global power that he has seen since the end of the Soviet Union. Like, it just feels like it's just shooting yourself in the foot like 10 fucking times. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. This is what I honestly believe. I think Greenland is like just the huge cap on that. They had a meeting today. You saw I don't know if you saw this. The 2 people that were doing the negotiating from the Greenland side, they walked out of that meeting and they looked like they were shell-shocked and they had a smoke. Is there the video? I thought it was so funny. They were just, it's just like, what is going on, bro? This is an ally. Allies, allies, allies. That would be really powerful if somebody was named Al in this story. Do you think that Greenland is fucked because they have so few people? Will you give it up? Dude, it's not about whether or not. Listen, what I'm saying is anything you wanted to do in Greenland from the American side, if you want to put troops there to stop Russia and China, or you want to go mine there, or whatever you want to do, you can do it. You could already do it as an ally. There already is a U.S. military base in Greenland. So if you were to cross the line of trying to take it from one of your allies by force and put your flag on it and make it part of your map, that is where you are burning bridges that have been deep, important structural ties. You are alienating a continent that has been like incredibly deep trade and financial and social and political networks for decades. That is the foolishness of it. It's not about whether or not you can militarily take it. Vid of them having a smoke. Let's see what this is. Dude, this is them after the meeting. It just looked fucking like, what the fuck was that meeting? It just like traumatized. Like, is the U.S. just done for? Are we going to run in 50 years? No, it's not. It's just not done for. No. That's like China will collapse in 30 days. Whatever. Here's the thing. Here's what everybody who talks geopolitics is not aware of. If you flash forward, let's not say 50. 50 is a long time. Who knows whether. Let's flash forward 30 years. China's here. It's a rich country. America's here. It's a rich country. Almost all the rich countries in 30 years are still here and still rich countries. What you're saying is whether or not the quality of life for their citizens has gone up or down. That's the main thing. Assuming fucking no World War III, which could be crazy. Let's not roll that out. But it's going to be... And by the way, it's not just quality of life. It's relative quality of life to the rest of the world. Are you getting... Is your life expectancy going higher? People's standards of living going up compared to the rest of the world or down? And it feels like it's headed in the wrong direction. The wrong direction. What if Greenland takes over the USA? What if? What is this? Yeah, we're integrating Grok into the Pentagon's internal networks. Fucking good. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Well, now my mind's changed. At first, I thought this was all a bad idea, but now that I've heard that Grok is going to be on the Pentagon, oh, speaking of Jerome Powell, I mean, anything else I want to say about Greenland? I just think it's a bad idea, man. Yeah, I think I don't want to be harping on it endlessly. We'll talk about it more if action happens. There's a chance. I mean, thankfully, Trump in general, when he floats up one of these dumb ideas, if like the market goes down or he gets a lot of forceful pushback, he usually does back off because he's taco. But I think it's when he doesn't get it, when he feels like, oh, there's a fucking lane. I didn't get enough pushback, and then he just doubles down. So we'll see what happens with Greenland. A lot of people, even people that are normally like, again, Keir Starmer's been pretty bent over backwards. Keir Starmer of the UK has been bent over backwards for Trump. Even he stood up and said something about Greenland. France said something about Greenland. All the European countries said something about it. Pretty forceful. So we'll see. But on Jerome Powell's front, he's backing down like crazy. The response, listen, I think I want to say we should take full credit in the Big A community. We said we had the video, defend Jerome Powell at all costs. You guys all spammed, we are Jerome Powell. He's backing off like crazy. I mean, they're throwing Janine Pirro under the bus. Trump is pretending like he never knew that this was going on at all. They're really backing down because literally the response was, by the way, I do want to say it. I don't think I said this enough in my video about it. I need the actual statement again. This. Where's Federal Reserve? I literally can't overstate. Where's this video? How incredibly good this video is. I really, when the more I think about it, the more I'm so impressed that he delivered it pitch perfect, under 2 minutes, clear, didn't make it politicized, didn't give an opening for someone to make it like it actually was a true masterclass. Like, it's very hard to watch this video and not see that he's saying absolute truth. He's like, hey, I am being persecuted because the president would like to get interest rates down. Simple, clean. Like, it actually was an incredible video. And it's impressive because it was like a very swift counterpunch that knocked the wind out of the whole idea. The second he uploaded this, like, this gave cloud coverage for even Republicans to break ranks and be like, I'm standing with Jerome Powell. We need to figure that. Like, it was perfect. It was a very, very, and if this was like longer or rambly or he made it like too much about Trump, or even said like Trump is doing this crazy stuff for the country. Like, he just was so clear about the facts. There was no angle to like really pick it apart. So I was just very impressed with it. And so, yeah, every central banker from all our major trading partners all stood up for him. Like, it was pretty wild. Why do you think Trump is getting so unpopular compared to his previous term? I think Trump is in a deep unpopular rut right now, and I actually think he's kind of flailing. He's not quite at lame duck yet. Really depends on the midterm, but he is unpopular. I will say I wouldn't overstate that he's deeply more unpopular than his first term. The polling doesn't yet show that. He's lost all the stuff he gained around the election is what I'll say. Leading up to the election, he gained a ton of like Latino voters. He even gained like young voters, which normally vote. He gained a lot of voters that have evaporated, that have slipped away. So I wouldn't say he's like incredibly more popular, but the difference is so stark between his first term and now, because Trump's first term, he didn't expect to win, I guess. Trump's first term was literally almost nothing happened in terms of actual legislative change. He didn't sign nearly as many executive orders. He had a cabinet that hated him. They all hated him, and they all, one by one, would leave office halfway through, resign, say he was a piece of shit. He only cut taxes on the rich. There was a couple things, but like the main legislative accomplishment was he cut taxes for the rich and botched COVID. That was term one. He just kind of coasted. He made announcements, but he didn't do much. He just liked being president. And every one of his cabinet members, this time around, he like stuffed everything with his own loyalists. Every institution has some diehard Trump loyalist installed as the leader, and none of them have left, and all of them are rock solid Trump. And he got, House Senate Judiciary, so he has carte blanche. And so the actions have been way, way more drastic in term two. Term two has been way more damaging. It's the dog that caught the car. Can you explain why my grandma thinks Trump is hot? I can't explain that. I can't explain that, bro. I can't explain that. Also, term one, there's people telling him no. Swordfish Master, isn't that what I just said? Like, you know how sometimes it can be frustrating when you say something and someone says also and then repeats what you just said? Isn't that like, can you see how that could be a... Bro said it louder. True. Fucking true. Fucking true. Fucking true. I wish I was high on pot news. I think he overplayed his political capital. I mean, I fully agree. But obviously it still comes down to having an election, which TBD, right? But if we have an election, I truly think like we talked about the ICE stuff, but despite the fact that some people will stand up and defend it, the truth is that it's deeply unpopular, man. It's deeply unpopular. The Joe Rogan's out there fucking, is there another Joe Rogan clip?
Streets. You don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to? You don't want militarized.
But this is Joe Rogan, bro. So I don't think I just, and who else? Dude, you know what else I saw? This is fucking crazy. Do you guys remember? This is like, feels like a bygone era. This is like early Instagram. Do you guys remember this guy? Dan Bilzerian. He's like a poker player / Instagram guy. he was like big in like the, manosphere type shit, right? It was funny because this is a throwback to Ludwig. The first time I met Ludwig, I was like, you look like a type of guy who follows Dan Bilzerian. And then he pulled out his phone, opened Instagram, and the first thing on his For You feed was Dan Bilzerian. This is a true fucking story. I clocked him instantly. That's like when I first met him. And this is after he asked his opening question, which was, what is your net worth, assets minus liabilities? The first thing Ludwig ever asked me as a fucking Best Buy employee who followed me when I was working at Twitch from Scar and Toph. And anyway, so this guy, Dan fucking Bilzerian, obviously this guy, big Trump supporter, at least in the election. I saw this fucking got retweeted. What? He said, if you're more afraid of liberals than your government, then you aren't paying attention. Don't stop talking about the Epstein files. They're breaking the law to hide. I don't believe the ICE agent's life was in danger. I don't care if she was a blue-haired liberal. This isn't about the right and the left. But like, even this guy, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not supporting this guy. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people are turning on this. I just literally think it's unpopular. And I think people get caught up and they see the most diehard defenders and go, no one will ever change their mind. And I've never believed that. America is full of people changing their mind. It's constant throughout all of our history. People have massively switched sides. So I think this shit's unpopular. But it all depends on having an election. That's the problem. That it all depends on having an election. Do you think there's a good chance of ending the Senate? Honestly, no. I think let's assume elections run normally. I think the Dems win the House almost assuredly. Take that bet 9 times out of 10. The Senate. The problem with the Senate, bro, is like, it's just a dumb institution. It's 2 seats per state. So California, which has like 80 times the people of fucking Wyoming, gets 2 people, and Wyoming gets 2. It's just based on lines on the map. It's so stupid. So it's possible they lose the Senate. I'm not saying it's impossible. This stuff is deeply unpopular, and maybe it happens, but the Senate is so skewed towards land mass and not population. And I understand it was needed at the time when they were deciding about fucking whether or not to keep slavery, but it doesn't make sense in a modern digitally connected country. And we have 2 different Dakotas. Yeah. The Dakotas combined have 4 votes. Okay. What's the population of the combined Dakotas? What? That can't be true. North Dakota population. South Dakota population. Are you kidding me? Combined, it's 1.6 million people? That's it for both Dakotas? California's got 40 million people. There's 4 seats for 1.6 million people across 2 Dakotas? That's not even like that. That's a dude. Dude. LA is double the size of the Dakotas. That's crazy. Dude, the Dakotas are the fucking size of San Diego. Okay, we just gotta split San Diego and LA and San Jose and San Francisco into separate states. That's wild. Anyway, I think it's a bad system. So I'm not sure how the Senate will go, but I feel pretty confident in the House, yeah. Hey, Mr. A, huge Lemonade Stand fan. Just want to say you're not Fat King. Please, for the love of God, stop moving your mouth away from the mic when you talk on the pod. It's driving me crazy. I'm working on it, bro. It's tough. I like to move around, but appreciate the compliment. Thanks for telling me I'm not fat. I appreciate that. That's one. That's the first one. You're the first one. That's 1 in the not fat column and about fucking 5,000 in the other. So I'm working on it. I need to blow my nose real quick. 1 second. 1 second. You blow my nose. And then let's talk about. Yep, creatine. Dude, it's so funny you say that because I've been mainlining creatine. Not mainline, I just had a fucking scoop. But I have been on creatine. Creatine working out. Let me get a hit of that shit. I don't necessarily think you're fat unless we're talking about those glizzy fingers. Then you're ginormous. Thank you for the 1 month of Twitch Prime. Thank you for the 1 month of Twitch Prime. God damn. Much appreciated, bro. Much fucking appreciated. Mm-hmm. Hey, anyone got an interesting video for us to watch? There's been a couple I thought about watching with chat. There's been a couple. I don't know where I put them, though. New video game Dunkey best of 2025. Fuck it. Is it long? Dude, the problem with, I gotta say it, Dunkey's videos have been getting too long. It's 5 minutes? Oh my God, I'm in. Yes, Dunkey's back, baby. A real dunk video? A 5 minute cracked Pure Jokes dunk video? Oh my God, I'm so sold. Cinema. Okay, Dunkey's been 25. List of good games for self-respecting gamers. See what you gotta say.
Gamers only like 4 things: broccoli, red peppers, hardcore gangster rap, and parrots.
Man can't tell me about rap. From the jungle to all over the map. Sounds going off, crossed out on the track.
What is Lou Mine's Minecraft about, you ask? No, you didn't. It's like Daft Punk chicken.
I have no idea what this is.
Some people call it Lumines.
It looks
Dragon Quest
Kinda
3
fun.
DHD 2D.
SD, Dunk D, that's me. Between this and DuckTales HD, I prefer the look of this game more.
It does look good.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is a game about a gorilla, not a zebra. I wouldn't play that. He can turn into a zebra, of course, but at his core level, he is a gorilla. I would not play a zebra game.
That's fair. This is one of those games that
Sea of the Sword
looks really
deserves
beautiful.
An award. That's what it says on Steam. You're so glidey and weightless in this game, like you're a little Kirby from Kirby
does look
Air
quite
Riders,
beautiful.
which was also very good. Last year was called 2025 because that's how many racing games came out, and they were all really, really good. In Gran Turismo, you're supposed to start
No,
braking like a
I don't
minute
like these
before
kinda
you reach
games.
the turn, right? In Kirby, you drive full speed into the sharpest corner imaginable, stop on a dime, and turn at a 90-degree angle.
I do like
a
that.
turn bike. Kirby's racing is like if every Sonic Adventure 2 level was City Escape, and
I
Sonic's
do like
racing
that.
was like better Garfield Kart, and they're probably gonna add Garfield as a playable character. I see a little zone. You can go in the lion's mouth.
Go back to Donkey.
I know we already talked about Donkey Kong, and I did like 30 videos on this game. I've pretty much said all there is to be said about this game. But this game is pretty good, you gotta say. What's cool about Kirby is the music.
Okay. So is it Donkey Kong and Kirby is the best of the year?
And
What
the
about
checkers,
Silk Song?
which challenges you to do stuff like finish a race without touching the controller. What's cool about Sonic Crossworlds is that I could play this game for the rest of my life and still never even get half of the S-ranks in time trial mode.
Stop talking about Donkey Kong!
Have we talked about Donkey Kong yet? He has more moves in this game than a Tekken character.
DK can run.
Remember in Balan how you could turn into Torchhead, who the only thing that he could do was light torches with his head?
No.
If that power-up was in Donkey Kong, it would let you go back in time and create blocks of cheese.
Oh no.
What does that mean, Donkey?
Technically speaking, I put this game on my list in 2018 already. But we changed the name to Star of Providence, so now I can put it again. And I mean, it was the game I played the most this year.
What are we talking about?
When Kojima saw the dancing part in Alan Wake 2, he said, "Now my game has to have 7 parts like that." The premise and promise of Death Stranding is still so far beyond the reality of it, but the world is so interesting that I want to deliver mail inside of it.
Okay.
Gamers only like 4 things: fancy graphics, doll man, and listen to Spider-Man music the whole game.
Okay.
People say Kojima should just make movies, but he already did. There's like a 3-hour cutscene at the end of the game. Donkey Kong Bonanza has more collectibles than Donkey Kong 64. It's so expansive and
That's
varied
not a
and
good
jam-packed
thing!
with fun ideas that it almost becomes too good for its own good.
Donkey Kong 64 had too many collectibles.
Bowser's Fury is like an exotic, meticulously crafted 5-star dessert. You take 2 bites and it's gone. Donkey Kong Bonanza is like if Nintendo opened they. Can you guys even hear me? Donkey Kong Bonanza is like Nintendo filled an entire bakery full of cheesy garlic bread and locked me in there for a month. And of course I ate all the
I don't believe that it's that good. It's probably a very Dunkey game.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think I already put this one. Tony Hawk is an eagle. I rented Tony Hawk 4 so many times from Blockbuster that I could have bought that game 17 times over. Mario Kart World is the most Tony Hawk 4-like experience this year, even though Tony Hawk 4 Remastered came out this year. Every mode in this game is really good, except for Free Roam, which is phenomenal. It's a free-form, open zone, open world go-kart platformer where you rail grind, wall ride, and bounce off of Yoshis that are bigger than Bowser.
Okay. Is that fun though?
This driving on this map with this music? No,
He
it's
loves
not
music.
real. This game didn't come out. I refuse to believe this game came out, and I refuse to stop playing it. We were so spoiled with awesome racing games this year that I didn't even talk about Mickey Speedway USA until now. If I have to choose though between Kirby, Sonic, and Mario, then I pick Mario.
Really?
Bro, there's two.
Okay. Well, it was a funny video, but all I got that is that he thinks Donkey Kong Bonanza is the greatest game of the year and did not mention any of the other games of the year. I guess all I want is people to tell me that Silksong is the best game. That's what I've been looking for. That's why that Steam thing was so validating. One person destroyed Telltale Games.
In 2020.
One man's ego destroyed Telltale Games. No, there was actually a real fucking video I wanted to watch. God golly gosh. Why can't I remember it? It was, oh, I remember it was. It was like, we're in the seventh. What was it? The seventh party system from Mr. Beat, which I guess is Mr. Beast without the S. I've never heard of this, but it sounds interesting and historical. Okay? It was the 7 eras of American political history and how we're in the 7th. And it had a nice thumbnail of 1st, 4th, and 7th.
What
I wanted
era
to watch it. I wanted to watch it. I think that sounds interesting.
are you currently
I've never watched this guy, so I don't know. We're going in vibes based.
in? My name is Mr. Beat, and I'm currently in my freaking out about the future era.
Okay?
Anyway, what about the eras of American politics?
Okay, cool.
Huh?
I'm interested.
What about them?
I mean, I actually have been interested. Ever since I watched that Death by Lightning Netflix special about Garfield's assassination, I actually think it's fascinating, and I want to learn more about it, so I'm interested.
Answer me, Cumberbatch. While political scientists and historians have divided up American political history into different types of eras, arguably the most popular way they have done this is by what's called the party system. The party system refers to the different eras in American political history in which both the political beliefs and voters of the two major political parties remained fairly consistent. The party system gets its name due to the fact that Americans always like to party.
Yes. No, we do, though. Don't cut the record.
Just kidding. The party system gets its name due to the fact that it has political parties, or basically big teams that organize to elect people to public office that generally share the same political views. When the United States first...
Should we start a party, chat? Should we make a new political party? Feels like people are screaming out for like an Atrioc party. You know what I'm saying? And we'll call it the Lemon Party. We'll get the lemonade stand, boys, and we'll call it the Lemon Party. And that is a true...
started, political parties didn't exist. In fact, the beloved first president, George Washington, warned against them.
Yeah, he was
However,
against
George must have got really sad when political parties formed anyway. But you don't need to cry, George. There are only 2 political parties. Well, 2 major ones. There are at least dozens of smaller political parties, which we call third parties. The 2 major ones you've probably heard of because you're smart and stuff.
Well,
the
that's
Republican
now.
Party and the Democratic
What
Party.
about then? Didn't we have like the Whigs?
But wait, why are there only 2 major ones that tend to control everything? Punk? That's because at the federal level anyway, the United States has plurality voting, or voting in which a citizen only gets to vote for one candidate, and the candidate who gets the most votes, aka a plurality, wins the election.
The best
even if
system
they
ever.
don't get the majority of votes. This winner-takes-all electoral system has historically discouraged third parties, and thus the United States mostly just has a two-party system. And
Okay.
because the country has had a persistent two-party system since political parties first became a thing, the country has gone through several party systems. In the early years of the Republic, there were totally different political parties, man. Over the past 171 years, give or take, we've had the same two major political parties, the aforementioned Republican and Democratic parties. But the Republican Party of today is very different than the Republican Party of 171 years ago. And the
Okay.
Democratic Party of today is very different than the Democratic Party of 171 years ago. I mean, you should have seen this channel 171 years ago. Back then, I was only posting videos of me unboxing squishies. Times have changed.
the joke
Anyway,
so
party systems exist because
I
political
don't need
parties
the
are
joke so
constantly
much.
shifting their
I'll give you a
priorities in
plus
order
two,
to keep winning elections. In doing so, political parties evolve and even end up completely changing their minds about political issues. At one point, the Republican Party was the party of reform. Then it slowly became more conservative over time. At one time, if you were a member of the Ku Klux Klan, you were probably a proud member also of the Democratic Party. Now, if you're a member of the Ku Klux Klan, well, yeah, you were almost certainly not a member of the Democratic Party. At various points in American history, the two major political parties actually weren't that different at all when it came to most issues and policies. In this video, let's break down the 6 party systems of American political history. Wait! I thought there were now 7 party systems in American political history. 6, 7.
Oh no. Oh no.
The first party system emerged soon after the Constitution
no.
got ratified. On one side,
Okay.
you had the federal.
So it took a bit of a while to get to what I wanted to actually see. That's a slight note. My first Mr. Beat video. But this is part I'm interested in. This is where I want to see the actual. But we're here now. And that's a good setup. And let's go.
Federalist Party, led by folks like Alexander Hamilton and John Adams, who favored a strong federal government, a national bank, and more trade with Britain. The Federalists were generally associated with the elites and those who lived in cities.
They also loved
On
rap.
the other side, you had the Democratic Republican Party,
They
not to
loved
be
to
confused
rap.
with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party of today, led by folks like Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. They favored a weaker federal government, which, yes, usually meant more states' rights, more trade, and better relations with France.
Yuck.
And yes, were generally against a national bank. Well, the Federalists started to dramatically lose power during the War of 1812, and by 1820, the Democratic Republicans were so dominant that President James Monroe ran for re-election virtually unopposed. However, after the economy went to the crapper and after the passing of the Missouri Compromise, which increased tensions over the expansion of slavery out west, the Democratic Republican Party would begin to splinter, leading to the end of the first party system.
I see. Second party system. Okay.
The second party system is often associated with the sharp rise of democracy and populism in the United States, and it all started because of one man. For the first time, all white men could vote around the country instead of just rich, property-owning white men. And yep, the second party system
We
is
got
when we
there.
saw the creation
got
of the
there.
Democratic Party, which
Equality
completely revolved.
Finally, all white men can vote. Equality attained. I can't, dude. It's crazy how naturally unequal things were at the start. That it took us. How many years is this? 1792. It took like 40 years just to get all white men. That's crazy. You have to be rich. That's such a wild.
revolved around Andrew Jackson, who kinda got screwed over in the presidential election of 1824. He won the plurality of votes, but still lost the election. Well, Andrew Jackson absolutely freaked out. A bunch of other American politicians, they'd end up forming their own political party, literally known as the Anti-Jackson Party, but aka the National Republican Party. They're just really unoriginal with names, okay? After the country's first third party, the Anti-Masonic Party became a thing. It, and pretty much all other anti-Jackson groups, united to form the Whig Party. So yeah, again, congrats, Andrew Jackson. You created the second party system. On the Democratic Party side, led by folks like not just Jackson, but also Martin Van Buren, they tended to be for expanding democracy.
The Van Buren hairstyle, bro. That is generational. Extra flowing, extra thick on the sides, extra bald on the top, dude. That's your future? Maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe I'll be the Van Buren of the fucking 2020s, bro.
Obviously, very against a national bank, against high tariffs,
I'm against tariffs.
elitism,
I'm against elitism.
A weaker federal government, more states' rights, and for territorial expansion of the United States, even if that meant
Greenland.
stealing land and killing people to get it. On the Whig Party side, led by folks like Henry Clay and John Quincy Adams, they basically were for everything Andrew Jackson was against. They wanted a national bank, a stronger federal government, higher tariffs, and were even implicitly cool with elitism. Speaking of a stronger federal government, the Whigs tended to support large infrastructure projects that could only be financed by the federal government. Oh, and the Whigs were against the territorial expansion of the United States, especially during the Mexican-American War. Never as tight of a coalition as the Democratic Party was, anyway. The Whigs began to splinter by the early 1850s. And the main thing they disagreed about? The expansion of slavery out west. In fact, new third parties emerged, like the Liberty Party and Free Soil Party, completely focused on the slavery issue. After the Kansas-Nebraska Act got rid of the Missouri Compromise in 1854, thus making a lot of abolitionist Northerners mad, the Whig Party completely collapsed and a new third party, the Republican Party, would form.
Okay. This is the Republican Party of Lincoln. Okay.
The third party system highly revolved around the American Civil War. The issue of slavery, which obviously was the main underlying cause of the Civil War, caused the third party system to happen to begin with. But the war continued to have huge political influence even decades after it ended. Despite this being a distinct political era marked by rising American nationalism, a push toward modernization, and the Gilded Age, a period known for extreme wealth inequality and corruption, the Democratic Party survived mostly because it adapted to the changing times. Still, it was the aforementioned Republican Party that dominated during the third party system. The first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, who is often also considered the greatest American president, was extremely influential in pretty much every Republican.
Let's let Trump finish the term before we... you can't make the rankings till he's done with his term, okay? Let's not rule it out. It's not a good start, but you can pull it back out. It's only fair. Is Lincoln FDR's my goat, right? If I had to guess. But also it's hard for me to even think about stuff when it's so pre-modern.
Politician following him during this era was trying to be the next Lincoln. I mean, they even all had beards, led by Lincoln and later folks like Ulysses Grant. The Republican Party generally was for equal rights for African Americans. Well, African American men, for a stronger federal government, for higher tariffs, and for Reconstruction policies.
Okay,
or when the
post-Civil
federal
War.
government had a much heavier role over state governments as southern states got reorganized and re-entered the Union following the Civil War. This time, the Democratic Party didn't have as tight of a coalition. You had folks in the party for the gold standard, but
What is that beard, bro? Also, what is this? He was a wary game old bird, but that there bantam was a little too much for him. Cock-a-doodle-doo, I've got the best of you, and I can beat the Lincoln cock and old Kentucky too. You can beat the Lincoln cock? Oh dear, this is my last cock on messed up old rooster. This was political cartoons of, of the era?
didn't have as tight of a coalition. You had folks in the party for the gold standard, but others passionately against it. For example, led by folks like Stephen Douglas and then later Grover Cleveland, they generally were against equal rights for African Americans, for a weaker federal government, more states' rights, against higher tariffs, and against Reconstruction policies.
Said they were against gold. It's just interesting. It's interesting that the racists are against gold, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. They were against, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting. Those are the people that have a lot of gold are probably more tolerant.
And due to the Civil War, the two major political parties during this time were often split geographically. Democratic Party voters were overwhelmingly in the South, and Republican Party voters were overwhelmingly in the North. By the 1890s, a new third party called the People's Party and a broader populist movement had taken the country by storm. And
dude, I guess we'll get to it, but I just saw like I was looking because I did that presentation on Jerome Powell, and I talked about Nixon's election. Nixon 1968 election. Dude, isn't it crazy? Look at the map. Look at the map when Nixon won. Oh, sorry, that's the map. That you can't even think of that in modern America. It was like Texas, it was blue Texas. And then even what was the 72? Dude. Okay, this was Nixon in 72 after he forced interest rates down. That would lead to massive inflation right afterwards, but he got it down. That's fucking crazy.
And new issues became more important to voters, such as ending monopolies, restricting the consumption of alcohol, worker rights, and consumer protection laws. While both the Democratic and Republican parties would survive this time, they only did so because they dramatically changed their platforms. Plus, the country had been going through its longest and most severe economic depression yet. Most of the fourth party system was dominated by the progressive era, that period of widespread reform and activism between roughly 1890 and 1920. Sure, the economy had recovered by the late 1890s, but Americans had not forgotten the damage giant corporations had done to the country. Suddenly, both the Republican Party and Democratic Party had become reform-minded, supporting things like taxing the super wealthy, breaking up monopolies, ending corruption in politics, expanding worker rights, and expanding
I stand for none. If you were watching my content, you know I stand for none of this. Not one of those things. They all sound fucking woke, dude. And they honestly are a blight on this country. And if we hadn't done those things, we'd be in a better spot now.
Democracy, which included giving women the right to vote and letting citizens directly elect their U.S. senators. Still, the two major political parties had their differences. On the Democratic Party side, led by folks like Woodrow Wilson and William Jennings Bryan, they tended to be against imperialism and more for free trade and deregulation, while the Republican Party, led by folks like William McKinley and Theodore Roosevelt, tended to be more pro-imperialism, for more protectionism, and for more laws regulating businesses. Due to Republicans being more proactive on progressive legislation, they were the dominant political party during the fourth party system. I mean, Woodrow Wilson mostly got elected due to a split within the Republican Party between Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. Speaking of split, World War I and its aftermath momentarily saw the Republican Party unify, but flash forward to 1929, and now the country was going through the Great Depression, the worst global economic crisis in history. Because the Republican Party was the party in power and was at least partially to blame for making the Depression worse, suddenly the Democratic Party became very popular. The fifth party system.
Wait. People's minds drastically changed during a time where the economy was bad? That couldn't have happened in American history. People have told me that all Americans are set in their ways and locked to one party and they'll never change no matter what happens. That's what I've heard.
The fifth party system is also often called the New Deal party system due to its close association with Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal programs. The New Deal was a series of reforms put into place by Roosevelt in response to the Great Depression. They not only had the goal of ending the Depression and aiding Americans hurt by it, but also creating laws and programs to make sure something like the Depression would never happen again. And sure, the New Deal didn't end the Great Depression, but these reforms were so popular that Roosevelt became extremely popular. To this date, he's the only one to ever get elected president 4 times.
The first time,
and
4
after
times.
Roosevelt died, future presidents and politicians, both in Roosevelt's Democratic Party, but also in the opposing Republican Party, mostly worked hard to preserve and even expand the New Deal. For example, the Democratic President Lyndon Johnson's Great Society programs were basically just an extension of the New Deal. So yeah, on the Democratic Party side, led by...
I love those Great Society programs. LBJ, I just hope you're not going to also dramatically increase our spending on Vietnam warfare at the same time, thereby bankrupting the country and undermining our system so that we're sitting on a path of debt for the next fucking 60 years. I hope that you're not going to do. I hope you'll just do the Great Society part.
Folks like Roosevelt and Johnson, they generally supported expanding the federal government in the name of protecting social welfare, expanding...
Yeah, but did you know that he had a huge dong? Fuck! I did know that. Against my will. I do know that. Everyone talks about it. And it shouldn't be important, but everyone's like, LBJ had a huge hog. And it's like, all right, fine. It doesn't...
Civil rights, expanding worker rights, and social liberalism. The Republican Party, on the other hand, led by folks like Dwight Eisenhower and Richard Nixon, wanted to keep the federal government a bit smaller while protecting social welfare, thought states should generally expand civil rights, generally supported business interests over worker rights, and social conservatism. But, similar to the fourth party system, both of the major political parties had very similar economic and foreign policies during the fifth party system, especially with regards to strong opposition to the Soviet Union and its communist government and command.
Wait, they snapped a photo of me in New York the other day? I've been protesting ever since the election.
Strong opposition to the Soviet Union and its communist government and command economy. After all, this era overlapped quite a bit with the Cold War. The fifth party system began to collapse for two reasons. First, events like the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal caused a lot of Americans to lose trust in the federal government. And second, the rise of Ronald Reagan. And
Bro, we were on a generational run until Vietnam. Low key. Just so stupid. So stupid. It fucked up so many things.
Similar limited government Republicans convinced tens of millions of Americans that
government is not the solution to our problem.
It's so funny that Reagan is thought of. I mean, he's not going to say this, but Reagan is thought of as like this small government guy. When he just said that out loud, but then drastically increased the size of the government. Like drastically. Like just spent way more money than anyone before him. Went deep into debt. Like it's like
government is the problem.
Oh, and did I mention that the country was also going through another economic crisis? Stagflation. The six-party system was dominated by two things: neoliberalism and neoconservatism. Neo and neo.
Dude, I was going to make the same joke. I am a boomer. I was about to pause and make a Neo from the Matrix joke, and I see it come on the screen. Holy fuck, I'm an unk. Oh my God, I had the same joke. I guess it was good I didn't get it out. It would have been worse if that popped in afterwards.
Oh yeah. That Neo was popular during this time as well.
Yeah!
Neoliberalism is a political movement that prioritizes personal liberty and free market competition. Neoconservatism is a political movement that promotes aggressively spreading American values, typically conservative values, around the world, even if that means military intervention.
I think we should start with Iraq. That's what I think. I think we got to start with Iraq. And then it'll spread from there. Do you know what I'm saying? Once we get a nice base of American values in Iraq and Afghanistan, then it'll kick off.
During the six-party system, both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party spent decades mostly on the same page when it came to both economic and foreign policy, whether people who live through this time are willing to admit it or not. And yet, just like with the third-party system, the two major political parties during this time were often split geographically.
Bro, you read Obama's book? Oh, bummer, bro. It's just like, yeah, everybody was asking me to do something about Wall Street after the great financial crisis, but like it could have shaken things up too much. It would cause too much strife. My hands were tied. I decided to use all the political capital I had on one thing: mediocre healthcare. Again, I can't fully blame them. They fucking fought him at every turn, but my God, bro, it's like that.
But this time, Democratic Party voters were overwhelmingly in the North, and Republican Party voters were overwhelmingly in the South. On the Republican Party side, led by folks like Ronald Reagan and Dick Cheney. Yeah, I'm not joking. Dick Cheney. They generally supported more aggressive foreign policy, lowering taxes as much as possible, and social conservatism. On the Democratic Party side, led by folks like Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, they generally supported a less aggressive foreign policy, higher taxes on the wealthy to pay for more social programs, and social progressivism. Indeed, the six-party system is when we saw lots of progress on social issues, from same-sex marriage to the legalization of cannabis to the growing acceptance of the transgender community. However, it's also when we saw growing polarization. Polarization more dramatic than anything the country had ever seen, going all the way back to right before the Civil War. Whoa. I'm not saying that the country is about to enter another civil war, but we are going through some major changes right now. More than anything, the collapse of the six-party system seems to be a backlash to the extreme wealth inequality and increase in government corruption we've seen since the Great Recession, well as a backlash to very unpopular foreign interventions like the Iraq War and war in Afghanistan. Over the last few years, we've seen both the Democratic Party and Republican Party start to rebel against free trade and even capitalism itself.
Do we have Bernie and Trump?
Yes, my clone was right. Thank you. In my opinion, I think we are now in the seventh party system, and I think it's mostly because of one man. Okay, maybe two. And that man was Donald Trump.
DJT.
Him becoming president has changed the Republican Party, man. It's now more populist, nationalist, and
I mean, it's true. Like the Republican Party of like, I don't know, fucking Mitt Romney, Karl Rove. You know that it's just not the same thing. MAGA is a totally different party. It's called Republican Party still. But it's a totally different party. It's a totally different. It has different fucking goals, aims, values, and everything. It's just entirely different. So yeah, he's totally right. This is a different.
protectionist. I mean, a great example of this is the fact that the United States currently has its highest effective tariff rate since the early 1930s. It has increasingly rejected internationalism or the cooperation and collaboration among different nations. It has increasingly rejected both neoconservatism and neoliberalism while embracing post-liberalism, a political movement that promotes the idea that both liberalism and individualism are hurting society more than helping it. But it's probably not just Donald Trump. The Democratic Party is changing too. Folks like Bernie Sanders, who nearly got the Democratic Party's nomination for the presidency in both 2016 and 2020, have also been influential in helping the party embrace populism and move further to the left on economic.
Someone said there's a freaking Cheeto in the White House. Dude, bring me back to 2016 era political discussion. There's a heckin' Cheeto in the White House. Trump Kofefe. Bring back up dudes to the left, bro. A simpler day.
Issues. During the seventh party system, the Republican Party has had more success reaching rural voters, and the Democratic Party has had more success reaching college-educated suburban voters. Now, I should say that there are political scientists out there who disagree with me, but they're full of crap!
Tell them.
What the heck? Just kidding. That was mean. They make good points. The fact that political polarization still persists, that yeah, sure, the presidency may have changed, but...
What do you mean still persists? Like, what do we do about it? It was incredibly polarized, nothing changed, and it's like, it still persists? What? Yeah, of course. What are we going?
Congress hasn't changed so much since the six-party system, or it's just too darn early to analyze this since some of this stuff happening recently might just be temporary blips. These are all reasons why other political scientists argue we're still in the six-party system.
They're going to wait and see.
Then again, there are other political scientists who argue that we're still in the fifth-party system. So who the heck knows? All this stuff is made up anyway.
True. Oh, well, that was a good video. I mean, it was interesting. It was a good walk through American history and then many, many political changes we've had. I thought it was interesting. He never told me about Feastables. That is true. When do you think we're going to have the eighth party system where Mr. Beast is in there? When do you think that is going to be? Because tomorrow, 2028. Why didn't he put 2 senators in a room for 100 days? Mr. Beast will be president, no joke. I don't think so. I don't think Jimmy's got it in him. I don't think he'll be president. I guess I could be wrong, dude. Clip this, and if we flash forward 12 years or whatever, and Jimmy Beast is president, I guess it's not impossible. You're joking, but probably 2036, 24 is going to be fucking influencer presidents? No, I've never disagreed with this. I've said this myself many times. We are absolutely going to have influencer politicians, influencer presidents. We already do right now, basically. But right now, it's people who were like politicians trying to become influencers. And soon we'll have people who are native influencers becoming politicians. That's 100%. I mean, yeah, JD Vance is online 24/7. He's on Twitter all the time. There's definitely going to be influencer politicians, without a fucking doubt. It's already happened. There's that guy in Europe. It's a part of the EU Parliament. There's people. Just because that's the way the media works now. So it's going to happen. But I don't think it'll be Jimmy Beast. Just for whatever reason, I don't think it will. OnlyFans models for president. OnlyFans models running for president as an ad for their OnlyFans. Thumbnail president. I did what in the White House? So you're probably wondering how I got here, shot him in an Oval Office. Influencer president apology. Just like you in the Oval Office, the title says sorry, and then it's like you talking about how you had to nuke Australia. You have your dog in the shot. It starts with a big sigh. Jesus. I heard the feedback. I saw your comments, and I made a lapse in judgment when I sent 2 nuclear weapons to Sydney, Australia. Bill Clinton plays the sax. What is that? Dude, I saw who's the guy from Dead Meat? James. He's at his New Year's party and he just busted out the sax. And he started like doing a whole sax solo for the whole party. And everyone was cheering. I was like, dude, he's literally Bill Clintoning. This shit is so funny. Larry Ellison at it again. TikTok and Paramount US owner Larry Ellison bought a giant yacht and named it Izanami after a Shinto deity. He quickly renamed it after it was pointed out that the name spelled backwards is I'm a Nazi. Is that real? Is that real? Oh my God, it's in Vulture. Wait, this is real? Dude, that's like fucking Succession. Wait, that's crazy. That's such a funny story. Izanami is a real word in Japan. That's so funny. Just, you can imagine the shot in the TV show where he looks at his boat and he wait. That's crazy. I did like that video. Was there something else I wanted to watch? or talk about? If not, I'll just January call it. Don't think there was much more. Unless there's something maybe funny. Scrandle? A quick scran? Dude, Scrandle is it's just slop. It's disgusting slop. Left and right. CoffeeZilla? Oh, didn't Coffee have a new video about something? CoffeeZilla. Voidzilla. Oh, this was the Eric Adams token. I'm not super interested in that. It's just another pump and dump. It's stupid, but talk about Kai? I did talk about Kai. All I said about Kai was that I think what he's doing is really cool. I think Kai Cenat, instead of infinitely farming for more money, taking a year break to just focus on himself and then inspiring people to read by doing live 20-minute reading sessions. I think that's incredibly cool. If it motivates people to read more. He even said it in a way where it's like, the reason, I think, where's this video? I actually want to show it. I thought it was good. I think it would be good to show. He had a explanation.
The reason why I started reading was because I didn't like the way I spoke. To be honest, I wanted to articulate myself better, and I noticed when I got into arguments and I had to get a point across, people were not taking me serious at all at serious moments, and
Dude, reading books so you can crash out harder on people and win arguments is funny. Reading books so I can find different synonyms to say fuck you.
I would have anxiety build up, and then I would start over my words and I not know what happened. So hopefully me reading, and I also have been writing as well, helps improve the way I articulate myself. Also, another reason why I want to read more, because I feel like as I am making my venture into clothing, I feel like when people have to ask me questions about the garments that I end up releasing, I should be able to articulate myself perfectly and explain what is going on and my thought process behind each garment and the inspiration. So yeah, that's really why. I don't know if it's going to work. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Honestly, the reason why
I just think that's badass, man. And then people see that and they go, hey, like maybe there's something I want to do with regards to articulating myself, or I want to learn more and sound more confident about things I'm interested in. Maybe I'll fucking read. And then he also gave him a method to doing it. And he did it publicly. I'm going to put a timer on my phone. I'm going to put 20 minutes. I'm going to read out loud. I think it's awesome. I just think it breaks down a lot of like the little self barriers people have to getting started on. So I just thought it was fire. I don't know. It's like a small thing, but it's like one of the coolest things I've seen an influencer do recently. So I wanted to count it out. Could also be for attention, but hopefully not. Bro, he literally is stepping down from content for like a year. Like he's not. He needs more attention. You think Kai Cenat's worried about I did a similar thing by listening to your vids, but now I start all my sentences with yo and end all my sentences with dude. I don't talk like that. I do yo at the beginning of stream, but I don't start it. I'm not like a Pokemon that says yo, dude. No, I don't do that. It's not. Listen, yo, shut the fuck up, dude. Okay. Millennial lingo. Sometimes you guys are like trying to catch me in that I'm a millennial. It's like, it's not a secret. Sometimes you're like, oh, I think I finally caught you. I think you're a millennial. It's like, no, bro. Yeah. You're not on to something. You didn't deduce it. I'm as millennial as it fucking gets. I'm a diehard, dyed in the wool, middle of the road. I'm literally the most average millennial in terms of like demographics. It is the most common millennial is a 34-year-old man, dude. Apparently not according to your biological age. Fucking true. I'm actually secretly a Zoomer. I'm a 25-year-old Zoomer, dude, according to my biological age. 24.8. It says it right here. How can you argue with that? What type of things are 25-year-old American men into? All these answers are wrong. Zin, I guess. Golf. I fucking love golf and zins and gambling. That's my three big hobbies. I love White Monster, Zin, golf, gambling, hating women, I guess. It's on the rise. That's a big one. Deep-seated hatred of women is on that's a big one. Magic the Gathering. Looks maxing. Yeah. Not drinking alcohol and smoking more weed. That's a big one. Chat, I'm gonna end here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Again, this is still January. I'm still doing short streams. I want to spend more time with Ari at the end of the day. And I like just having a short, high energy, fun stream. Appreciate it. That's what I like. Thank you. Sevens. I do have a presentation. I'll be doing it pretty soon, but I do have to finish. I just kind of want to see what happens. I want to do one and done. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I should be live tomorrow. I don't see why I wouldn't. I'm basically only taking Tuesdays and maybe Saturdays off during January. I think that's still fine. Just shorter streams, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays is for the podcast and Saturdays for and Sundays. Sunday's always off, but anyway. Thank you. Appreciate you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Oh, gym stream. Yeah, I think so soon. Goodbye.